What up, everybody? This is Dario Hunt from Live Life Fearless, and I'm here with my reaction to Hell or High Water. I'm always curious to see which movies get nominated at the Oscars. There's always a handful of those big name, big studio movies that get the love, but they also do a pretty good job of highlighting some of the smaller, lesser known films as well. And in this year's nominations in particular, there really seem to be a lot of them in the mix, and honestly, a lot of these movies were not even on my radar. I had seen the trailer for Hell or High Water and I liked the casting, and it looked like a movie that would be right up my alley, but I just never really got around to seeing this one. But after seeing it get nominated, I decided I had to finally give it a chance. The plot is pretty straightforward, with two brothers going on a bank robbing spree to pay off the mortgage on their land with the authorities hot on their tails. It's basically a modern day Western, with the two anti-heroes fighting against the system and doing the wrong things for the right reasons. It was written by the same guy who wrote Sicario, and it shows. The grand scheme of the story often gets pushed into the background in favor of some fantastic dialogue and intimate character moments. Now, they do tease deeper meanings to the proceedings, like the banking system in the United States, but they never really throw it in your face, and they just leave it out there as a fact of life. And yes, there are guns and heists and chases, but it's much more of a cerebral action flick than I thought it would be. There's a lot of slow burn before things ultimately explode. But as much of a fan as I am of action, I am a fan of great dialogue and great character development, and Hell or High Water has both of those in spades. The cinematography on the film was just outstanding. They really captured the feel of small town West Texas without doing too much or getting too fancy. They let the scenes just speak for themselves, and they did a really good job of framing. It felt more like an experience than actually watching it. They did a great job of pulling you into the world. The casting was also fantastic. Chris Pine is the heart and soul of the affair and our entry into the world. He felt like he was a genuinely good person who felt like he had no other options left. Ben Foster played his brother, and he was the real star of the show for me. He just has an immense presence about him, and he pulls off these emotionally damaged, menacing characters extremely well. They don't give you much in the way of backstory, but I still ultimately felt sympathy for them because I could feel how damaged they were through their interactions, their demeanor, and just their overall presence. The other real standout, of course, was Jeff Bridges. There is not much I can say about him at this point in his career, other than that his respect has been well earned. Now, I'm about to head into full-on spoiler territory, so if you don't want things ruined for you, I suggest you leave the video now, and I'll give you about 5 seconds. Alright, taking the money that they stole to the casinos to essentially launder it was an extremely cool idea. In fact, their overall scheme seemed very well planned out, and it felt like something that could actually happen in the real world. I loved how nothing was in your face in this movie. Like when Tanner told Toby to just go on ahead and that he'd meet him later, you could see it in both their faces that they both knew was the end of the line for him, but they pulled it off without actually having to say it, and I love that about this movie. Now, I didn't see Gil, Jeff Bridges' partner, Death's coming, and I like the fact that he didn't get overly emotional about it, but instead got consumed by his need for justice. And without needing to explicitly show it or say it, you can tell that his death haunted him. The fact that there was oil on their land was a big game changer for me. It made what they were doing and why they were doing just so much more believable for me. I really loved the ending of the movie. After Toby and Marcus square off on the porch, Toby leaves Marcus an open invitation to come find him and finish things. And Marcus says he might just take him up on that offer. Now, we never do find out if he ever did take him up on that offer and finish things, but it was a great end to the movie, and it really highlighted their old Western influences. Have you seen Hell or High Water? What'd you think about it? Do you think it was better than Sicario? Let me know in the comments below, and be sure to head over to Live Life Fearless and leave your rating for the movie.